everyone, and welcome to my June bullet journal setup. This one's actually quite different because I had to move my bullet journal into a new notebook because my old one, I could have still put my June spread in there, but it was at the very end. I barely had enough pages to do it, so I decided that I would just use my new bullet journal. And so in this one I had to do my beginning of the year setup. So the first part of this video is just gonna be the same as my 2020 bullet journal setup, just slightly different because I decided I wanted to change up my picture spread. So if you've watched my 2020 bullet journal setup, you know that I have this spread where I basically glue in a picture for every month of something that happened or a memory I want to remember. And I changed the size of the pictures that I wanted to put in there because the ones I did in my old bullet journal, the spread was on just one double page with very small pictures, but they were kind of hard to print out, so I wanted to make them bigger so I could just print out normal size pictures and then cut it in half and then have that size. And that also does take up more space because I had to do it, I think, over 3 double pages. I don't know, but I think it's 3 double pages to make it fit. But I actually really like it because I can glue in bigger pictures, and then as I go gluing in pictures, I can decorate the pages with washi tape and little doodles and everything, so I really like that. But we'll see how it works out. And then I obviously copy all the spreads that I had before in my old bullet journal. So the birthday spread, I did exactly the same, because last time it took me a really long time to get it how I wanted, and I messed it up several times, so this time I just copied it exactly the same way so that I wouldn't have to do it all over again. And then my things to cook page, which in my old bullet journal I have my post-it notes with recipes and stuff just stuck in there, so I can take them out and put it in my new one. And then obviously I'm gonna add more to those, but also my things to check out pages. I'm not sure yet if I should copy the things that I did actually do already, if I should put them in there as well. I might, because some of the TV shows, for example, I've already watched by now, and so I don't know if I should still put them on the list, but I kind of want to because it is still 2020. And then next, I did the numbers for each month, but I did them off camera, and you can see this really cool transition that I'm very proud of. Now we're on to the June spread. This one is slightly different to the ones that I've done before because I said last time that I wanted to change up how my spreads look, and so I tried to do something different this time. And also I included some doodles because I used to always doodle in my spreads. But first, we have a little visitor because my camera actually turned off and then I had to recharge it. And then by the time I tried to start filming again, our cat decided to join us because he likes to sit on my windowsill that's right behind my desk. That's where he was sitting for most of the time that I was filming, but right as I tried to start filming, he decided he wanted to climb onto the table. Because I tried to somehow get him off the table, but he wouldn't get off the table, and he doesn't like being picked up, so it was difficult. But in the end, he decided to go back to the windowsill because apparently he likes to stare out of the window into the dark. I don't know what he's watching. We'll never know, but he likes to do that. But yeah, that's not the only appearance he makes in this video though, and I decided to leave them in because he's really adorable. Back to the spread, I did these sunflower doodles because for this month I chose NCT Dream because they released their album Reload at the end of April. Yeah, I think it was very late April. I chose them for this month because one of their members, Haechan, his birthday is actually on June 6th, and I thought it was very fitting, and that's also why I chose the sunflowers, because his name, Haechan, means full sun. That's why he calls his fans sunflowers, and I just thought it was very fitting. And in one of my older bullet journal spreads, I think it was like a March bullet journal spread from 2 years ago, maybe, I don't know, I did sunflowers, but I actually never finished that spread because I ran out of pages in my book, and so I decided I wanted to do some more sunflowers, and I actually really like how they turned out, even though some of the yellow marker smudged some of the black ink of my fine liner, but you can't even really tell. Here I put the pictures, so one is a group picture of NCT Dream, and then I put the picture of Haechan on the cover page because it's his birthday in June, and I'm pretty sure he's the only NCT Dream member whose birthday is in June. I think I even looked it up. And I did another sunflower, but a smaller one. I think the bigger one turned out better because it looks more like a sunflower. The smaller one looks kind of like one, but from afar you could also think it would be a different flower, but I actually do really like them. And I really like this technique. I think I found a tutorial to that online because I didn't know how to actually draw sunflowers, but they actually are really quick. And here's here's another appearance by the cat, more so his tail. But I think after that he actually got off my table, so that's good. But yeah, I did my calendar the same way I always do it. Still haven't changed that, but I do actually like that. I actually really like this month's theme, even though I noticed it kind of looked a bit like a fall theme, but that might just be because yellow and brown are not colors that most people associate with summer, but more so with, or, well, not necessarily directly fall, but maybe late summer, something close to fall. But to me, because they are sunflowers, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think sunflowers grow mostly in midsummer. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But yeah, I did some really small sunflowers. They actually also don't really look like sunflowers, except for the colors. But that's okay. Because I know they are supposed to be sunflowers. And that's all that matters. Also, maybe you didn't notice, but I did not use any washi tape for this month. But that's because the only washi tape that I have that would match in color has ice cream on it. It's yellow washi tape with ice creams on it, and so that doesn't really fit the whole theme. And here we actually skipped to the next day because it was getting really, really late, so that's why the lighting changes. Is that day before, after I finished with the calendar and stuff, I actually went ahead and sketched out the weekly spread how I wanted it to be, because I wasn't sure how I could divide it up and still fit a picture but not make it too small, because I didn't want to add too many different things. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use that bottom part of the column for. We'll see about that, but I didn't put one on Sunday because I never really write much into my bullet journal on Sundays anyway, so I think that small little box will be enough. I actually really like how this looks, because it is not too much different to what I usually do, but it is a little bit of a change. I actually noticed after I did all of this that I didn't know where to put the numbers, but you'll see what I do with those. And then obviously the little picture in the corner, I should probably think of a different spot to put those, because my old bullet journal got really bulky in the one bottom corner, in the bottom right corner, because there were so many pictures in the same spot. But also here I messed up with the numbers, because it wouldn't be one of my setups if I didn't mess up at least one number. I always do that for some reason. And I actually don't know if I'm gonna put a sunflower on every single page, but maybe, because they are actually really easy to do. They do take quite long because there's so many petals, but they aren't very hard to draw, and it is actually quite relaxing because it's not something you really have to think about too much. But also at this point I noticed that I still had a sticker that I wanted to put in, and it's actually a cactus, but it has yellow blossoms on it, so I thought it looked fitting. And then instead of using washi tape, I did the same thing that I did in my last spread, where I just did like a line with marker and then doodled over it to kind of make it look like a DIY washi tape. I don't know, as I said in my last video, I saw Oh No Nina do it, and I actually thought it was a really cute idea. So I tried to do it this time as well, instead of the washi tape that I usually put. Because if you put washi tape in the same place over and over again on several pages, it will get bulky in that spot, and that does not look very cute. But yeah, I prepared my other weekly spreads. In this case, I only put the pictures because the rest took quite a long time, so I thought I could just do that whenever I'm setting them up. I'm actually doing my habit tracker exactly the same way again as I did last time, because that one time I tried to do it differently, I really didn't like it, so I'm doing it the same way again, kind of taking the page horizontally. Can you say that? Does that sound right? I don't know. And I did the same thing with the little flower doodles. I know they aren't sunflowers, but they are flowers. But I did notice that it was off center right after I was done, so. And then obviously the weekly tasks again. Also, this time I tried to, instead of using so much black marker, I tried to use the brown marker a lot more. So I also did the boxes for the weekly tasks with my brown marker, but then the numbers in the boxes I did with a black marker. So it was a bit more, so it looked a bit more fun. And then I had to come up with colors for my mood tracker. So I just used yellow, orange, and 2 brown shades. And then I put one sunflower sticker, and the other one, I know that's not a sunflower. Again, doesn't matter. But it looks like a sunflower because it has the same color scheme. But I think it's called a Black-Eyed Susan. I'm not sure. And then I did these flowers for my mood tracker because it just fits the theme. And I did 7 petals on all of them, so there is 35 petals. I actually always do that when I do like flowers or something, because, well, actually I could have done like, because I think June has 30 days, I could have done like 5 flowers with 5 petals. I just realized that. Well, I did 5 flowers with 7 petals. And so on the last flower, I just colored 5 of the petals in with just the yellow that I used, because they also aren't numbered, so they are already colored in. And that's how I always do it when I have too many shapes for my habit tracker. My music this month page is also always very basic, but this is how I like to do it. That's it, so thanks for watching.